Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the old show today, we're going to start off this episode just like we did the last episode, yes, with the Ford Ranger. Now, we talked about in the last episode that they may be building this in the United States again. Started off the rumor that this vehicle could be sold in the United States again. Again, this may be something that we'll have to wait and see on. Ford Motor Company and the UAW have been working on spooling up a brand new plant. I shouldn't call it a new plant, a plant that's actually gone dormant, and actually filling up capacity with this particular machine. Well, apparently the world's demand for this machine is going to way underrun what this actual plant can actually do capacity-wise. So there's a lot of rumors now floating about that there may be another machine being built side by side on this same Ranger platform, which has got this rumor starting up again that Ford may have the triumphant return of the Bronco. This was a Bronco concept that was shown off several years ago. Again, this is a lot of rumors and internet fodder, so we'll have to wait and see on this deal, but could be pretty doggone cool moving forward. Next up on the list, well, the folks over at Kia couldn't wait. They actually put out a bunch of high-res photos of the brand new Sportage. Now, we know little or nothing about this machine. It's going to be shown off at the Frankfurt Motor Show, so we'll know more coming there. But I have to say, a lot better looking than the current edition of the Sportage, which kind of maybe wasn't saying a whole lot. Next up on the list, another vehicle that's had an interesting little life. The Subaru BRZ. This vehicle sold like pancakes covered in crack when it first came out. But now it's kind of fallen on hard times. A lot of the enthusiasts that really wanted this particular machine got their hands on one. But if you've been waiting and you still would fancy one of these new BRZs, guess what? There's going to be a price drop. Now, don't get too excited. It's only $300 US, but still, that brings the MSRP down to $25,695 US. Again, $300, depending on what you put down. It's almost car payments. That isn't too bad. Next up on the list, well, one of my favorite TVRs of all time, the TVR Sagres. What a gorgeous piece of kit this particular machine is. And why am I talking about one of my favorite TVRs of all time? Because if you've watched this show enough, you've probably remembered this particular logo where we talked about TVR making its triumphant return to the world stage. Well, apparently, the little concoction that they've been cooking with the two main ingredients, one of them being Cosworth engines, they've built World Rally winning engines, Formula One winning engines, they've hooked up with groups like Ford and other manufacturers, and not to mention the designer that's actually going to be designing the brand new TVR, one Gordon Murray, who was the designer of McLaren's F1, their first road car that they ever built. Yeah, that's a pretty good little stew that they're cooking right there. And apparently, they've got a lot of people's mouths watering because guess what? TVR is sold out for its first year of production. And we don't even know what year of production that will be. Not to mention, we haven't even seen a concept of this machine. Nobody knows what this car is going to look like or when it's coming out. But yet, people are so enthralled, or at least the enthusiast community, over what could come of these two main ingredients, that they're going to shell out their hard-earned cash and lay it down on the line, wanting one of the first models. So, cannot wait. Maybe at Frankfurt, fingers crossed, but it's pretty doubtful. But we'll wait and see what we get to see in the new TVR. Next up on the list, well, the folks over at Hyundai are going to be bringing a big presence to the Frankfurt Motor Show. One of the things that they're going to be doing is a brand new group underneath the Hyundai umbrella, which is going to be an all-new performance group, which is going to be done under the letter N. Yes, the letter N will stand for performance. Well, you know what I mean. But a couple of cars that they're going to show off. They're going to show off at least 3, apparently. 1 road car. They're also going to show off this particular machine, which is actually a Gran Turismo concept machine that they'll actually be able to be playable in the new Gran Turismo 6 video game. Also, they're going to show off the brand new, and it'll be the big reveal for the next generation of the i20 World Rally Championship automobile that will be actually infighting in anger at the Monte Carlo Rally in the first part of January 2016. So, Obviously a good replacement. This little i20 that they've been racing here this year has been pretty doggone successful so far. Has been pretty good, so cannot wait to see the new Hyundai i20 World Rally Car in action. Next up on the list, well, we've talked about this particular chap ad nauseum. Yes, Mr. Jeremy Clarkson. Mr. Clarkson's had a very interesting past several days. One, he's put out a brand new book called What's the Worst That Could Happen, which is a pretty appropriate title, especially for the past several months of what he's been under. Also, there's been some rumors that he may have laid down some cash on a brand new McLaren 675 Longtail, the LT edition. And that hasn't been actually done, at least, hasn't been proven at least as of yet, but wouldn't be a surprise in the least. Then comes down that apparently this book deal is just to probably pay taxes for what's coming up, and that 675 Longtail is just chump change to Mr. Clarkson now, because rumors are now floating about what exactly Clarkson's going to be bringing home from his all-new $500,000 budgeted grouping with Amazon Prime. His new show, apparently Clarkson's going to make somewhere between 10 and 15 million a year. Yes, 3 years of making somewhere between 30 and 45 million dollars. Not a bad deal if you can get it. So, obviously, Mr. Clarkson, a ginormous knob, but I mean, still, he puts down some pretty good automotive programming, and it's probably well worth that particular cash. So, it's going to be really interesting. This new Amazon Prime show is going to be pretty killer. You're going to have to get in line to take a peek at this particular deal. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, links down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.